was undoubtedly one of the most tragic wars in our history. It led to the death of millions of innocent people. But what really caused it?
We'll be looking at things like, how did Hitler come into power? And what did the Treaty of Versailles actually state? Welcome to our project on the causes of World War II. Seb and I will explain in detail all the causes that led to this disastrous and destructive war that killed millions. There were 6 main causes of war, one of which was, you could say, the first cause of war, the Treaty of Versailles.
At the end of World War I, Germany found themselves being dominated by the Allies, which consisted of USA, Britain and France. Germany knew that they were never going to win World War I, so they signed an agreement with the Allies called the Treaty of Versailles. It was designed to keep the Germans at bay and prevent them from causing any war.
The Treaty of Versailles stated that Germany would lose all her colonies, pay huge amounts of money, known as reparation funds of up to £6,600 million, only have an army of 100,000 men, have no planes, no tanks or no subs, but they could have 6 battleships. They had to accept the blame for starting World War I and lose 13% of their country. They were not allowed to join the new international organisation called the League of Nations. Also, they were never allowed to join up with Austria. Finally, no German troops were allowed in the Rhineland area of Germany.
By signing the Treaty of Versailles, it meant that Germany had to pay out huge reparation funds, going up to the cost of £6,600 million to Britain and France. Germany's economy was ruined by World War I, so they had to do something about it. To do this, Germany would start printing more money by the day. This did nothing. Children were seen stacking money into wheelbarrows just to buy some milk. Germany's economy was ruined, so for them to pay back the money that they owed Britain and France, they had to take out loans from America. It was all going fine until the Wall Street crash, the second cause of World War II.
USA were no longer able to fund Germany. The Germans were stuck for cash and needed answers quickly. They had 2 options, Nazism or communism. The majority of the middle-class people voted for Nazism as they were scared of what the communists could do to them.
Not all Germans wanted Nazism. Most of the war veterans wanted communism, as they had nothing after the war. The Nazis were led by one man, Hitler. He could speak to the German public with confidence and pride. He said after the Wall Street crash, "I will help Germany be great again." He also said, "I will rip up the Treaty of Versailles." His votes went through the roof, showing Germany was desperate. This is why these are causes of World War II, as Germany would do anything to get what they felt they deserved.
Then Hitler used unique ways to beat his rivals, the communists.
Hitler came to power by using many sly and cunning techniques. He used posters and videos of propaganda to win the Germans over. He also knew the middle class were scared about communists, so he offered them protection. But he needed the first class people. Luckily, a bandwagon effect was generated. Hitler knew that Germany lacked a strong, willing and backbone leader, which Hitler was. German people also thought that Nazism sounded new and exciting. Finally, Hitler used a scapegoat technique on the Jews, later known as anti-Semitism.
Germany now had a dictator, Adolf Hitler.
Hitler acted quickly. He started putting his ideas into reality. He put 4 main ideas out. All Germans should be united. The Jews and communists were the source of all of Germany's problems. The Treaty of Versailles was unfair and should be ripped up, and the Aryan race of Germany was superior. The first thing he does is rearmament. This itself is a cause of war as it breaks the laws of the Treaty of Versailles. After getting away with that gamble, he starts reuniting the Germans. This is a cause of war as he would have to invade other countries to unite the Germans.
Firstly, Hitler marches his troops into the Rhineland area of Germany. This is illegal under the laws of the Treaty of Versailles, but Neville Chamberlain, the British Prime Minister, allows him to do this as he thinks appeasement is the way forward. After winning that gamble, he decides to gamble again and reunite with Austria. Britain and France again do nothing, even though it breaks the laws of the Treaty of Versailles. Next is Lebensraum, where Germany was to expand her borders to the east. This was a cause of war as it created conflict with Russia and other countries, but Hitler decides to carry on and take the Sudetenland of Czechoslovakia. Then Hitler decides to take the rest of Czechoslovakia. After that, Britain and France realise that they need to stop Hitler, so they tell him to stop. Hitler's next ambition was to take Poland. But there was one problem: Stalin. Hitler was not the only one who wanted Poland. Stalin had ambitions to take the country as well. Hitler and Stalin made a truce over Poland by not attacking each other. This prevented Hitler fighting a war on 2 fronts. They decided it was fair to split Poland equally between them. Britain and France had had enough, so they declared war on Germany.
And that is the causes of World War II. Thank you for watching.
The Treaty of Versailles wasn't very nice. I didn't like it.